Hey guys, and welcome to my first ever video on this channel. My name's Louise, and today I'm going to be talking about the rising star, the global sensation right now, at least in my household, Adela.
KG, bitch.
Okay, so first of all, who is Adela? For everyone who doesn't know her, Adela Jagova, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, is a 22-year-old singer and songwriter. She was born in Slovakia, and she started doing ballet when she was only a child. I think she went to ballet school in Moscow. She also was very fascinated by American media. She talked about watching Hannah Montana growing up in multiple interviews, and she taught herself how to speak English through Western media, through American media. She quickly realized she would not have the same opportunities as other people if she wanted to get famous, so she kind of taught herself how to appeal American, how to seem American, how to act and speak American. She mentioned watching many interviews of celebrities growing up and just kind of adapting their manners and how they spoke, and that's how she taught herself English at only 8 years old. Although Della always dreamed of performing and kind of doing more and maybe even becoming famous, she stayed disciplined throughout her whole childhood and early teenage years to kind of adapt a skill set which would then help her to become famous one day eventually. So at just 15 years old, she moved to Vienna and joined the Vienna State Ballet, and just 1 year later, I think, she also moved to London and joined the London National Ballet School. She then started doing vocal lessons with, I think it's one of Olivia Rodrigo's vocal coaches, who told her about the Dream Academy show, and she applied for that and also got accepted. So Adela was then a participant in the Dream Academy survival show. For everyone who doesn't know, it's the show that ended up forming Cat's Eye. And she also talked about how that was probably the worst year of her entire life. So at this point, we already know that she's very, very disciplined, and she's very trained and skilled because she grew up doing like Eastern European ballet lessons. Then she went through K-pop training, so she's very skilled. She got eliminated because she was told she had solo potential. She always stood out. Some said because she was taller than the other girls. Some said it was because of her attitude. She actually was liked by the participants, but there was this whole drama going on, which I'm not gonna get into. But it was basically because she was complaining about how people like her from like Eastern Europe, European people or non-American people, um, didn't quite have the same chances or like get the same exposure, although they were even more skilled or the same as other contestants. As I mentioned, she got eliminated from the show. She still remained friends with some of the other participants, for example, Emily, Lara, and Megan. But this whole mean girl thing will become relevant later in her story. She then took some time for herself and kind of found out her brand. This is a very important step that I feel like many pop girls these days are kind of lacking or missing, a specific brand, a specific thing that people immediately associate with them. She took some time to perfect the vision she had in her mind, and she started working with different producers and figured out her style and kind of sound and tone. That's when the branding part gets very important. She dyed her hair pink, and then she dropped her first debut single, Home Wrecked. The main topic from her music from now on is made very clear within this first single. She talks about leaving home very early, doing everything she could and everything in her power to become famous or take steps to be known, and she takes every opportunity, and it's kind of an homage or ballad to herself, to her younger self, for leaving home so early and being so brave. She then drops her second single, and I think her best song so far, Superstar, which kind of is a wordplay with the song Superstar, and the marks or like the scar it left on her. For example, her time in the Dream Academy show, everything she had to put up with, but she's willing to make sacrifices and take losses in order to eventually achieve her goal. Della then dropped her third single, Machine Girl, which is very important in her discography because she talks about the whole Dream Academy fight and the whole situation she had going on, and encourages the listener to blame the label, to blame the executives behind these shows, behind the whole music industry, because they're constantly blaming girls and kind of putting girls against each other and women in general. And she talks about this machine girl and not her being the mean girl. I mean, basically, it's a wordplay. You can go listen to it. And she kind of cleans up this whole mess and the whole Manoa situation because they actually never hated each other and were just put against each other for, I don't know, fame, for clout. I think from this song on, everything went very fast. She also worked with Grimes on Machine Girl. She noticed her through her song Home Wrecked and has a cameo in the music video and kind of helped her, I don't know, produce it, I think. Adela then signed with Capitol and Polydor Records and dropped a new single, Death by Devotion, which specifically talks about her struggle growing up and doing ballet in conservative environments and how she dealt with this constant stress and pressure on her, not knowing if she'll ever make it. And she kind of admits that she has a love hate relationship with the sport she's done all her life. I personally think this song's very overlooked. It's also not my personal favorite of hers, but I think it's very revealing of the kind of person that Adela is. And just go listen to it, you'll get it. But it's very dark. It has this kind of new feeling to her songs because the first ones were just straight up pop songs, and it kind of dives deeper into another direction of her kind of sonic personality. Della then goes on to drop her last single for the upcoming EP, The Provocateur, Sex on the Beat, which features a crazy music video. You can see that the budget was higher than for the first videos. She also said that for the Super Scum music video, she had basically no budget. She did it all by herself, independent. And you can tell she needed that budget because her vision just becomes very clear. The music videos crazy. It features a crazy dance break, and I like that she incorporates everything she learned throughout her childhood and teenage years into her music. She really is a performer by heart. You can go look at her MTV performances of Super Ska and also think Home Wrecked. I'm not sure. They are crazy. She puts her heart and soul into this, and really shows that she wants this, which we'll get to later, but it's a very important part of her personality. Her EP, The Provocateur, features all of the singles I mentioned and also two new songs, Finally Apologizing, in which she also kind of talks about the whole situation in Dream Academy and how everyone wants her to apologize to Manoa, apologize to the girls, and um, clean her image in that way. And she basically talks about how she will never do that and she knows her truth. And it also features the song Go, which is personally one of my favorites. You should definitely go listen to it. It has this kind of crazy clubbing sound to it, and I don't know, she's just going crazy in that song. I don't know. And I hope we see more of that on her debut album. A very important part is that her fan base consists of the girls and the gays, which is like one of the most loyal but also hateful fan bases you can basically have as a pop girl. And she then started playing some kind of like underground shows. It was like her first tour. I think she called it a Provocateur tour because of her EP, and people were amazed. These first few clips, she's acting like she's performed her whole life. She incorporates the ballet theme. She has this kind of, I don't know what you call it, thing on stage on which she does classical ballet movements. Then she goes crazy, as I said. She mixes these aesthetics, and she also just looks like a superstar on stage. She looks like she's been doing this her whole life, which she kind of has. And she has this light pink hair, this pastel color, which is a nice contrast to her black clothes she's wearing, and she just looks amazing, which is probably why she then got booked to be the opener for Demi Lovato's upcoming It's Not That Deep tour, which she's currently still doing. Everyone who knows even anything remotely about pop music knows that if the hair changes, something's about to happen. And I woke up, I saw her newly dyed hair, like an even darker shade of pink in contrast to her pastel hair she had before, and I knew we were gonna get that album, and I was right. She then put out a leak of her upcoming single "KG Bitch" on TikTok. People ate that shit up. They love her. I think they especially know her from that song now, and people loved how she kind of incorporated where she's from, but also kind of made fun of like not the government necessarily, but all the conservative communist things she grew up with. The music video is crazy. She recently put out the song. I think it's her I would say it's her most famous song so far, and it's worth a watch. She's serving hair, she's serving face, she's serving choreography,
I'm pretty important.
and she's also serving a clear vision once again. She has such a specific vision of what she wants to do. I've heard some people say she's the European answer to Lady Gaga, and I couldn't agree more. She's also doing her own thing, of course, but she really is doing that crazy thing and she's not afraid to get ugly. She's representing her culture without it feeling forced. She's doing it at certain times. She's kind of, I don't want to say calculated, but she's kind of calculated really about what she does. Also heard some of the songs she performed live from her upcoming album. For example, Boys, which is so catchy. What the fuck? She needs to put that out immediately. And Ain't in LA, which made me do this video in the first place because the baddest bitches really ain't made in LA. They made in Europe, in Slovakia.
The baddest bitches in
Okay, so now that I've done a recap of basically her whole career so far, I'm going to talk about why I wanted to make this video in the first place. I saw a performance of her doing Ain't in LA, like her new upcoming song, on the tour with Demi Lovato, and I was so captivated by this performance. Like, she's in this ballet skirt doing like some type of ballet movements in the point shoes, but she's wearing this LA like cap. She has this messy pink hair, and I think it really represents how, first of all, the best bitches ain't in LA because she's from Slovakia, and many other bad bitches ain't from LA or America as well. And I feel like she's torn between like LA because she's been living there for the past few years, and also like her home country and where she came from. And I mean, as she said in Homework, she left at 15. She's been everywhere just to eventually reach her goals. And she didn't always know that she would make it. Now she's made it, but she didn't always know. And that's also why I think that someone like Tyler, for example, feels so refreshing sometimes because she's representing her culture without it feeling forced. And I think we just need more exposure on pop girls around the world. Don't get me wrong, I love me some Sabrina, I love me some Olivia, and I'm not targeting them by what I'm about to say now, but I feel like some of the other main pop girls right now, I could just switch out their songs and I wouldn't know who made the song because the songs are lacking a specific essence of the artist which made them. And when I listen to an Adela song or like an Edison Ray song, I immediately know that they made that song. Because when I hear like the first few chords to an Edison Ray song, for example, I know it's by her because she took so much time to figure out her sound, her brand, her identity, and everything. And I think Adela's doing the same thing. And she's kind of like a fresh breeze into like the pop atmosphere right now. The main point, which kind of makes her different, like stand out from other pop girls right now, in my opinion, is that she is so honest about wanting fame. I also really like that about Addison Rae. I mean, Fame is a Gun. I love that song. I love how honest she is. And like just with that single song, she could have cleaned up everything that people made fun of from the past few years. She always wanted more as she sings. I think Adela, with her, it's the same thing. She's always wanted this. She's admitting that she's worked her whole life just for this, and she's not afraid to get ugly to do anything that it takes to reach her goal. And I think we need more pop girls who are honest about that. Nowadays, everything is supposed to feel so natural. Everyone is suddenly gifted with some kind of thing that makes them popular, and everyone wants to do, some people call it confessional songwriting, or everyone wants to be the next Taylor Swift, the next Beyonce. And I like that people are taking inspiration. I think that's very good. But you can't just simply copy them. I don't know if you get what I mean, but I feel like people are lacking creativity, and I don't want to say it, but almost everything I hear on TikTok or like in the chat sounds the same. And I need Adela to kind of do her thing and bring her sound into the wider space and be noticed even more. And still nothing feels staged with her. I know she's thinking about everything she does like thoroughly, and as I said, she has a clear concept of everything, but it feels so natural. Everything she's put out so far, like every song, feels like a natural development for her. And also like KG Bitch and like the direction she's taking now for her debut album. She's staying true to herself, but also she's developing, she's taking time, and I'm really rooting for her. She's gonna be one of the biggest pop stars in a few years from now on. I'm saying it, I'm calling it. she's already a big part of the culture. Also noticed that because she's like in some clubbing scenes, and I think she's very respected like within the industry by many artists. And I've seen that they all seem to like her. They all seem to like her music. Seen, for example, I think it was Christina Aguilera doing a TikTok to a new sound. I think she's very deeply respected. And I also want to add, she's not just honest about wanting fame, she's honest about wanting to be taken seriously. She wants people to see that she's been doing ballet her whole life. She wants this kind of, people would say, old or classical thing to live up once again, for people to notice it, to start respecting it, to start respecting her hustle. She's, as I said, she has been taking vocal lessons before she even knew that she was going to make it, because she's worked so hard and she wants people to see that and respect her. She doesn't just want fame, she doesn't just want to be on the red carpet, she wants to be performing, she wants to be on stage. I think that's where she's the happiest, definitely. And there's also kind of this thing about pop girls, like being a songwriter or being a performer, being a dancer, like being a vocalist, like many of them clearly fall into one of the categories. I think Adela really is a performer, in my opinion. She, of course, has the vocals, she can dance, everything. Otherwise, she wouldn't be a pop girl. She's so captivating on stage, as I said. Just go look up some of the videos from her opening for Demi Lovato right now. I'm also not saying that Demi isn't great, but I've heard people say that Adela's kind of stealing her spotlight a little bit because she's working her ass off. She's using every chance she gets, and that's also what I mean by saying it's refreshing to see someone not taking everything for granted, and not only listening to the TikTok algorithm and just putting out stuff every other week. I like that she has a concept and she wants to bring back like 2010s kind of pop music, pop culture, and you can't really revive that era. I don't like when people say someone's bringing that back necessarily, because you can bring something back, you can take inspiration from it. But I feel like she's doing it the right way. And I've heard many people compare other pop girls right now to Britney Spears, to, I don't know, if you listen to Adele's music, you can hear the influence from other artists. If I listen to other pop girls' music, I don't often hear the influence. They're just saying they like the artist. Not to forget, she's also kind of educating Americans, because why the fuck don't they know where Slovakia is? The amount of times I've heard her, like in a podcast, saying, "Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's just an Eastern European country," because people don't know where she's from. Guys, wake the fuck up. Also, people really slept on the KG bitch message. I loved her. I love a political queen. And what's even more interesting about her is that she really, really wants this, but she's still always critiquing the industry, which other people really don't dare to, even. And she's so bold and unapologetic about herself and about her criticism, and how she's still a part of the system. And as she said, she's like a spy. She studied this shit and she knows what's up, and she wants to keep up with it and she wants to keep doing it no matter what. But I think it's very honorable to be this honest and this critical towards the industry, although you're just an aspiring artist. Okay, so I'm just gonna end this video right here by saying this is my first video ever. Please don't make fun of my English skills. It's not my first language, as you can tell. I'm also just a European girl, just like Adela. I'm really resonating with her on that level, so please don't make fun of me. And also, leave your opinion in the comments. Did you already know about Adela? Did I just kind of put you on? If you're interested in pop music and pop culture, I'd be very happy if you like this video, maybe subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much.